Welcome back to my channel. My name is Daniel. If you want to learn how to properly lose weight fast in a way that is sustainable, personalized, and that doesn't feel like a diet, then you've come to the right place. So today's video was inspired by my very first subscriber email that I received. So in a way, I kind of wanted to celebrate this, we'll call it milestone in my YouTube journey. And I wanted to address this particular topic. Now, I did reach out to her. I've been reaching out to this person. We've been talking, and I wanted to make sure that it was okay for me to read her email and use it as a topic. But essentially, this video revolves around three reasons that will prevent you from reaching your weight loss goal and keeping it permanently. So even if you reach your weight loss goal, if you have any of these three particular, we'll call them psychological symptoms or negative thought patterns, you're never going to reach your goal and you're never going to keep it there permanently no matter what you do. Now, my disclaimer here is that this video is not meant to be a negative one. It's not meant to be pessimistic or for me to call you out if you're experiencing any of these things, or if you've been trying to lose weight, for me to tell you this is why you're not going to do it, but rather to provide you with a solution, and more importantly, to bring you self-awareness and perhaps some self-reflection in case you are experiencing any of these three things, so that you can take some action so that you can reach your goal. So I'm going to get straight to the email, and then from there we'll address those 3 points, okay? Her email read as such. First of all, I just wanted to say that I was really inspired by the video you did on the girl that lost 30 pounds in 4 months with PCOS. Unfortunately, for some of us, that will never be the case. For the last 10 years, I feel like I have tried it all. I always fall short. I always get halfway there and then I revert back. I always go back to old habits. I have tried every single diet you can think of. I've tried every cleanse, every book. I've tried programs from, and then she goes on to mention 2 very famous organizations. I'm not gonna say their name for just to be respectful, but mainly because I don't know how the legal stuff works on YouTube. So I feel like I have tried it all. Now, this isn't really a question, but it's just me venting a little bit. I just wanted to tell you that I think you're doing a good job, but for some of us, weight loss and lifelong weight loss is something that is never going to happen. Thank you. So first of all, I want to say, thanks for watching the video. If you want to check that out on how to lose, if you have PCOS, how to lose 30 pounds in 4 months, I'm going to leave the link in the description below. And first of all, thank you for following me, for checking out my videos. And before I get into the three points that I want to talk about, I want to say that I did reach out to this person, and we're going back and forth to help her personally, one-on-one. Hopefully, we can have her here on the channel as a success story, and we can cover her story in more detail. But the very first point that I wanted to cover, the very first thing that if you're experiencing that is a symptom that you're never going to experience lifelong weight loss or keep it permanently, is that you constantly keep blaming outside circumstances. So what do I mean by that? If you ask somebody who's trying to lose weight, whether that's for 5 years, for 10 years, for the last year, and you ask him, why haven't you lost weight? If you are that person and your first response is something along the lines of I tried this, that didn't work. I tried this person and that person didn't work. Or I tried this program, it was that program's fault. Chances are that you're never going to reach your goal, and here's why. If you're constantly looking for outside sources to blame, that means that you're not looking within to see what is wrong and what's happening with you. You're trying to place the blame on outside things, on outside circumstances, because you know that if you blame yourself, it's a lot more painful and you don't want to deal with that. But many times we have to take responsibility for the things that we do, for the things that we're not following, for the things that we're not executing. And so it's easier to blame, outside circumstances. So if you have that, where you constantly keep blaming programs, diets, or other things, then, like I said at the beginning of the video, do a little bit of self-reflection. What is it that's missing in your life? Why is it that you can't stick to something, instead of placing the blame on something, instead of looking from within and saying, okay, what is it that I'm doing wrong? What do I need to do? Do I need to exercise more? Do I need to make sure that I'm not eating as many processed foods? Do I need to make sure that I make that lifestyle change? Okay, so again, this isn't to call you out or to just to say, hey, here's why you're not going to lose weight. But if you constantly find that you're blaming other programs, circumstances, coaches, then before you do that, look at yourself and ask yourself honestly, did I do everything the way that I was supposed to? So point number 2, which it's pretty similar to this one, is you're constantly looking for the next diet. You're constantly looking for the next quick fix, for the next hot solution, for the next sexy fad. And it kind of goes back to that particular, to point number 1. They're pretty similar, because if you're constantly looking for the next sexy diet, for the next fad, for the next cleanse, that means that you're not ready to make a lifelong commitment to yourself. That you're gonna eat healthier, that you're gonna eat more optimal foods, less processed foods. For example, more vegetables, more fruits, more lean proteins, healthier fats. You're not ready to make that commitment. So if symptom number 2 is that you're always looking for the next diet, for the next cleanse. Instead of focusing on dieting, focus on the things that are sustainable to you. Focus on a lifestyle that's going to work for you, something that you can say, okay, I can do this for weight loss, but I can also do it post weight loss. And point number 3 is, and this is probably the most important one, and point number 3 is you don't have a why. Now, what do I mean by a why? If I were to ask you right now, why do you want to lose weight? Chances are your response would be something along the lines of, I want to be healthy, I want to look good, I want to be more self-confident, etc., etc. Now, there's nothing wrong with those answers, but we have to go beyond that answer. What is the why behind the why? To give you an example, if I asked you right now, why do you want to lose weight? And you said, I want to be healthy. Why do you need to be healthy? And if you can answer and say, well, I want to be healthy for my kids, I would dig deeper into that and say, why is it important for you to be healthy for your kids? Then we get into emotion, we get into a more deep answer. Something, maybe the answer here would be, well, I want to be healthy for my kids because, I lost my parents to, type 2 diabetes or heart disease, and I don't want that to happen. Now, it's not so much about what your why is, but it's about having one. If you don't have one, then chances are you're not going to get to your weight loss goal. So right now, as soon as the video ends, you need to ask yourself, what is my why? Why is it important for me that I lose weight? Why is it a need and not a want? What would be different in my life if I were to lose all the weight that I want right now? What would be different? And if you can't create emotion out of that, if you can't bring excitement out of that, then you're probably just doing this for a more superficial reason. Because I see this many times, people just go into a weight loss journey because they just want to silence peer pressure, or they just want to say they're doing something just to say that they're doing something, but there's no real emotion behind that. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you do have that emotional anchor, that why behind your why. But it's very important that you have that why, because if you don't, then what are you working for? Why are you doing this? You need to have that emotion pulling you, that's gonna allow you to do the lifestyle change. It's gonna allow you to get up and exercise when needed, or make better choices when you go to the grocery store. So keep those 3 things in mind. Do some self-reflection. First is, do you constantly blame outside circumstances? 2, do you constantly look for the for the next sexy diet, for the next hot thing? And 3, do you have an emotional anchor? Do you have that one thing pulling you instead of pushing you towards your body transformation? So hopefully you guys found that video helpful. I didn't want to focus too much on nutrition. I wanted to do more of the psychological stuff, some of the negative symptoms that a person that is never going to experience weight loss or permanent weight loss usually has. So of course this channel is dedicated to nutrition, to helping you personalize it, to make sure that you sustain it. But behind all of that, we need to have the mindset, we need to have the attitude, we need to have the psychology, which is what today's video was all about. So if you like today's video, make sure that you leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We have more content coming up, and I'd be more than happy to hear your why in the comments. What is your why? Let us know what your why is. Why are you doing this? Do you want to be healthier for your kids? Do you want to look better for the opposite sex? What is your why? Whatever your why is, let us know what that is. That is one of the most important and vital reasons that is going to determine whether you do this or not. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.